What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. What I wanted to do is come on today just to talk to you a little bit about me and who I am. I know a lot of times, at the end of the day, we really come on here and we're just talking and talking and talking. But I'm actually on YouTube today, and I wanted to kind of fully explain to everybody exactly who I am and what I'm doing. Today is Testimonial Thursday, and a lot of times, I could talk about a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna come on here today just to kind of give you an introduction of myself. Basically, I am a very much so small country girl, from Georgia, and a lot of times, in Georgia, you feel like you're doing the right thing when you are like in the church world. And I've been to church all my life, like literally all my life. And a lot of times, when you feel like you're doing everything right, you feel like you're doing the things that the Lord has asked you to do, and things don't go your way the way you expected it to go, then things kind of change and rearrange a little bit, and you try to stay on point, but really and truly, it's very difficult to stay on point. So I'm one of those. I'm one of those girls. I'm one of those girls, and I am rooting for those girls that are out there. The reason why I started my platform is just because autism kind of threw me a loop, threw me something that I've never seen before. I've never seen anything like this ever. And I think that, when you don't know about something and you don't know about how to help somebody else, it really affects me. And it affected my world. It affected everything about me. I mean, when I was in high school, I made it my business to make sure that I was doing what I was supposed to do. And at the end of the day, sometimes it just does not work out for you. When you think you're doing the right thing, when you think you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, it still does not work out. When when they say, some things happen to good people, bad things happen to good people. And I really truly believe that. I really truly believe that. And so as I was, and when just thinking about high school, when I was in high school, my high school sweetheart actually proposed to me. He is my husband. We've been together since the 10th grade, and we try to do everything right. We are different, but yet and still, we made it happen. We made it work. He proposed to me in the 12th grade, and it was a big deal. Everything was a big deal in my life, to be quite honest. It is nothing that have not been a big deal. But as I moved forward and we got married when I was 22, we had our daughter, Michaela. She'll be 17 next month. But then after Michaela, a couple years later, 3, 4 years later, we had JJ. JJ is my oldest son, and he rocked my world, man. He changed everything and changed our lives. I mean, into a life that we have never thought or never think that we would have had. And I know for sure that I couldn't believe that, I was going through these things. I was going through these things. And when JJ first got here, I would never think that he had anything. Like, he was a normal boy. Like, he was a normal kid. Like, he was a normal baby. He was doing things that, you would never think that it was wrong or anything like that. He was doing things that hold on, y'all. He was doing things that at the end of the day, you feel like, it was okay. It was okay. And when he turned around one, that's when he really and truly just, everything just changed. It was like he was in another world. He was in another, he was in his own world, I would say. And he was sitting in his high chair, and he did normal things, like he walked on time. He said little words and did little gestures and stuff, but then just all of a sudden it was just gone. And when he was in his own world, he would just sit up, and you just don't know what he's looking at. He'll look at just random things. And so it was so different. It was so different for me. And the only thing that I could do is just take him to the doctor to see exactly what we should do about it. Well, they didn't want to diagnose him at first. Everything was always like, we don't know. Let's just wait. Let's just see what he's going to do. Let's just see if it's going to get better. Let's just see. Everything was a let's just see kind of thing. Now, because he did not like communicating and because he didn't like friends and all of those things, what they did was they started him in this program called Babies Can't Wait. And that program itself like took him into like just a small like speech therapy and stuff like that. And then he started to get very, very, very rambunctious, like on 10 all the time, running everywhere, doing things constantly over and over and over, like putting holes into his little playpen and just little things like that. And we didn't think anything of it, but he used to, twiddle his fingers and do all these little red flags that I didn't know at the time that that was considered autism. But no doctor, no nobody would diagnose him basically. And it felt lonely, you know. It felt lonely. It did. It felt like I didn't have anybody. It felt like nobody could give me any answers. And I was doing all this research. I was trying to figure out, how can I help my son? You know, how can I help my son? And then no, and I mean, I could go to whatever, doctor. He used to get all these ear infections. The doctor, gave him a specialist where we go to this ENT. The ENT would give him, different things in different ways and say, let's give him some amoxicillin. I mean, he had over 20 plus ear infections. I mean, he stayed full up with mucus. And, you could tell like the milk was making and the formula was making him a little bit worse than what he was, like sick. But they said, continue to give him his nutrients and his milk, which I did. And, he didn't clear those ear infections until he got some ear tubes. And once he got the ear tubes from the ENT, everything was like really good as far as like him being sick. But he still was just running everywhere, just had so much energy. And when I say so much energy, I mean like all the time energy. Like he had so much energy. And I mean, it was energy that was uncontrollable. You know what I mean? It was uncontrollable energy. Energy like he could not calm himself down. And so if you would have him, I mean, as a toddler, when he was like 2, 3, if you had him, you could not like let his hand go. You couldn't do those things. You would have to hold his hand if he was outside because he would just jet off and run. We got so used to those things. He never went to sleep. Till this day, he's now 13 and he just has issues with sleep. And so because he has issues with sleep, we have issues with sleep. And so as he got older, things really progressively got worse before it got better. And, he did not speak. He started to make all these sounds like he do now. And he did not say his first word until he was 8 years old, until he was 8, right? So that tells you have to be patient. You have to wait on the Lord. You have to wait. You have to be patient on this journey. When JJ was 4, almost 4, I had John. And John is on the spectrum as well, but he was a little bit different. He was a little bit delayed in his speech, but he walked. Both of them were big babies. They were 8 pounds, 8+ pounds, so but when John didn't speak, I was like, oh gosh, I hope he started talking. And he did. He started talking at 2. And John was a little bit different. He had the iPad. He was such a genius on the iPad. He was talking, he was walking, he was doing certain things, but he also, you could tell, like he also was a little bit confused as to different things in which why he could not do at the time. So he had issues with communicating. And so several red flags came up, like he couldn't hold a fork and spoon on time, like so many little things that he was doing that JJ was doing more severely. So he would try to bump his head on the wall a little bit, John would, but he'll realize, man, that hurt, so he wouldn't do it as much as JJ, but JJ would really go in. And when I say go in, I'm talking about go in. JJ would headbang a lot. Like he had a season when he was about 10 years old and he was headbanging so severely, like he would want to hit his head on the floor, hit his head on walls. It was like so traumatic. And it was a very difficult season around that time and around that day in age for him. But as the boys got older, I'm gonna tell you something. It gets better. It gets better as they get older. And I decided to start a platform when JJ was about 6 years ago. You know, around that time, I was almost about to lose my mind. Because you got to remember when you have a special needs child like that, and nobody can understand, nobody can't help you, nobody can really come and watch them for you. Like you don't have anybody there to try to like kind of like step in. So my husband would be the breadwinner. I would stay home to watch JJ. But when you're in it like that, day in and day in and day out, you almost lose yourself, you know, mentally. And so I had to figure it out. When JJ first got here and people didn't understand what was wrong with him, I told the Lord, hey, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I did to receive this. So why did you pick me? I mean, I would question the Lord so much. It was ridiculous, man, because I just did not understand it. For me to do the things that I felt that was okay, and for me to receive a child with autism, it just did not click. So I checked out on the Lord for the first 6 years of JJ's life. I was just like, man, please, you know. hmm It's very hard. Trust me. And I remember just trying to say, well, just thinking in my mind, I wish I had somebody to talk to. I wish somebody could just understand where I'm coming from. I wish somebody would just understand me, or is there anybody out there that has a child like mine? Is there anybody out there that can help me? I remember saying to myself, man, I just want just a way out. It feels like prison. And then one day when JJ was about 6, I was like, man, I'm changing. I'm going back to the Lord. I asked the Lord, I said, I can't do this. Help me. Help me raise this child. Help me do whatever I need to do to get out my rut. Help me. And the Lord brought one of my friends, and all of my friends have been my friends for a very long time. And one of my friends was in Kansas City. I've known her all my life. And she came down, and again, I told you I'm a church girl. I was born in the church. And the church that I was born in, basically, she came in to kind of take over her uncle's church. And so when she came down, she helped me. She not only helped me, but she helped me pull through that time. And she made me realize, that, hey, get yourself back. Wake up, get yourself back. And that's when I went to the Lord and I said to myself, I'm going to change. I want you to help me to change. And as I began to change, I did. I changed during that time. And as I began to change, I began to get my life back a little bit. And the Lord brought in True Blue Brothers. And what True Blue Brothers is, it's a platform on Facebook. Now we have 28,000 followers on there, almost 29,000. But that platform helped me. That platform not only helped me get out my rut, but it helped me to understand that there's so many more people out there that need something, that needs a voice, that needs to know that, it's other people out there, man. It's other people out there that's struggling. It's other people out there that have the same kind of kids. It's other people out there that need somebody else. It's other people out there. It's other people out there. You're not by yourself. And so when I started it and I formed this platform, I said to myself, I'm not going to kind of sit down on it. I'm going to push my way through. Now, at this time, nobody knew my child had autism, and I had both boys. I was just in the house. My husband was the breadwinner, and I had to stay home. Somebody got to make the money. Somebody got to stay home with the kids. Nobody can't understand my kids. I don't trust nobody with my kids, And so when I started this platform, I remember it was so hard for me to just push it out like my child has autism, and just push it out. I didn't even invite my friends, like on my personal page. I didn't invite them at all. I was in a box. I was in a shell. And it was so big of me to just push it out, to even make the name True Blue Brothers. And the name came from True, which is the first beginning of my last name, Truett, CRU, and then Brothers because my boys were, they're brothers. And then Blue because, blue represents autism. So it's True Blue Brothers. But anyway, I put it out as a business page, and I was afraid, but then I started pushing myself, and I did it again, and I did it again, and I started doing different posts, and people started following me, and people started sharing different things and commenting, and I seen like the elevation of empowerment, and I seen the elevation of inspiration. I mean, people were inspired by the things that I was saying, the things that I was posting. And I'm like, man, it's so many people out here. And so it helped me. Other people helped me. They think that, that platform is huge, but other people helped me. And now it's 6 years later, because I remember my son is 13. So now it's 6 years later. And now guess what? I have this platform. This platform is for autism moms. This platform is going to be so big. I started on Facebook, and I said to myself, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to really truly do is make this platform so big and so huge, because at the beginning, again, I didn't know what the Lord was doing with my life. I didn't know what he wanted from me. I didn't know what he wanted to create in me. I didn't know what he wanted. I didn't know what I needed to help me. I did not know. And so this platform is brand new. This is a brand new platform. And I said, I think, what I'm going to do, truly and honestly, I'm not going to look back. I'm not. This is what I'm purposed for. And I know that it's other autism moms that are out here, and they need this. Now, this platform is going to show my life, and I'm going to be as truthful as I possibly can. And, right now on Facebook, we do have we're almost at 1,000 followers on Autism Moms Believe on Facebook, on Autism Moms Believe, and The Autism Mom on Instagram. We have a pretty good following. On TikTok, we got about 7,000 followers under The Autism Mom, Autism Moms Believe. But we're just beginning. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of women that need help, even dads too. That's a whole nother conversation. But this platform is needed, and we're going to have real stories. We're going to have real relationships. We're going to have real interviews with real autism moms that tell their story. And the only reason I said to say that is because I know it helps. I know it works. I know it helps other moms believe that their child will overcome every struggle, every battle, everything that their child is going through. They can overcome it. You got to believe that. And the only reason I can tell you that with clarity, with confidence, with assurance, is because I just did it. Like, I am living it. And I need your support just like you need my support. Anybody that want to get on this platform, you can get on it. This platform is going to be major. And on the Facebook page platform, in our exclusive community, we have an exclusive community as well. It's a private group underneath the Autism Moms Believe page. Now, the private group has about 337 people. But I said at the beginning, 2 months ago, and all this stuff is new, I said that this platform is going to be so huge. It's going to be so amazing. And I said that before not one person joined. And it's 2 months later. I feel blessed. I feel encouraged. And I know it's going to be hundreds and thousands of women that's going to be helped through this platform. Not only that, but we're going to help every autism mom. We're going to help them move into a place where they can make money too. Just because their child has autism and they're not able to go out to have like a regular job, that doesn't mean that we can't make money. We're going to make money as well. We're going to have empowerment sessions. We're going to have shirts. We have shirts on our website now, www.autismmomsbelieve.com. We're going to be walking billboards and walking advocates for our children. Why? Because nobody else is going to do it. And I feel like the more we push, the more we press, the more God is going to show up, not just in our lives, but in every single life that reaches out and touches this platform. That's what this platform is all about. So if you want to be on the platform, our next session will be, and the sessions are called Speak Up Sis. The next Speak Up Sis episode will be episode 2, because again, we are very new, but it's coming up on the 24th at 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. If you're on Twitter right now, just join on YouTube. Please go and subscribe. Go ahead and like this page, Autism Moms Believe, the Autism Mom. I am your thought leader. I am your motivator. I am everything that you think that I am. I will be that. You DM me if you have questions. You DM if you have comments. I'm the visionary of Autism Moms Believe, and I know truthfully that this platform is going to be nothing but amazing and such a blessing for so many more people. When you get on the website, you'll also see other things like Dr. Payne. She has information on products where your products have so many chemicals, and chemicals that's within all of your household products, anything in your hair, all of that. Like, we have doctors that have very much so solidified and backed all of these things. And if you would click on Dr. Payne's information on our website, you get all of that stuff, and she will be able to reach out to you. All you have to do is just type in there what you want and what your concerns are. And it's a whole store, online store with products that doesn't have any chemicals in it. We also have Dr. Tamira. What she does is she is basically a professional in ABA. She has a whole sensory store, and you can if you go on autismmomsbelieve.com, you can get on the sensory store, and she has 25% off for all autism moms. The code is Autism Moms. So please check that out as well. Like, what we want to do is we want to be a huge hub for all autism moms and for all parents that are struggling and need help or want to talk or have a story that they want to get off their chest, or they want to talk about ABA, and they want to talk about advocacy. The next session that we have, that's what we're doing. We're pressing and we're pushing on advocacy. That's what we're going to be working on. So today was Testimonial Tuesday, man. If you're watching this replay, just know that everything that's on this platform, God did this. This is for a huge, 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 huge reason, a huge purpose. And I promise you, once you tap in, you'll see. Always remember, man, and I always say this on every single platform that I have, it always seems impossible until it's done. Don't ever forget that. I don't care if you have a weary day. I don't care if you have a stressful day. I don't care if you have an exhausting day. Just know it always seems impossible until it's done. This is your girl, Coach Court. I'm signing out. Your visionary for Autism Moms Believe, your coach. And I promise you, I'm believing, just like you believe in. I'll talk to you soon.